Linkin Park is back together, and like everyone else on the internet, I have my opinion on it, and I want to pose a question not only for the Linkin Park fans, but I think for anyone who likes music, which should be anyone who finds this video. So, if this video has reached you, I would really appreciate if you leave me a comment on this for this first question and just give me your opinion because I am genuinely interested in people's thoughts on this. And that question is, do you think that musicians should take fans' opinions into consideration when it comes to their music? Now, I have two opinions on this. I know that's four fingers, but two opinions. The first one being is, if you're a touring musician and an established band and you're looking for support of your fans because it's your livelihood, you want them to buy your music, your merch, tickets to your live shows, then yes, of course you should take their opinions into consideration, especially if it's constructive criticisms that could help your band grow in the right direction. Now, my second opinion on this is where a lot of bands will start out as a passion project, or just musicians in general will start out just putting out music that they want to put out because it's important to them and they like doing it. And if that's the case, then who cares what people think? Do what you feel is right because you want to do it, and who cares what everyone says. Now, with a band like Linkin Park, because they're an established band, I think they need to do a little bit of both. One, because they're an established band, they're touring, they're trying to sell a new album coming out in November. They need to look at what people are saying about this new singer, about the other change-ups in their lineup, and this first live performance, and maybe put that into future albums and future live performances. And then part two of this is, because this is almost a rebirth for Linkin Park, I think that it could be more of a passion project for Mike, where this was something that he felt he needed to do now, needed to put new music out as the band to carry on the legacy that is Linkin Park. And me, as a lifelong fan, regardless who their singer is, I will support them. But I do have some maybe harsh criticisms that I'll talk about a little bit later in this video to kind of get into what I think they need to grow. First things I want to start with is talk about what I think they did really well for this first performance and leading up to it. First of all, the announcement. Like, holy cow, I was like on the edge of my seat. They had the countdown timer, it reached 0, and then it started counting up. I was losing my mind. I just wanted to know what was going on. And to hear that they're back together with a new album, touring again, I'm so excited. But that announcement, huge. And the marketing behind it was brilliant. The fact that they had people guessing all over the internet, who's the new vocalist? Is it going to be Derek Whibley from Sum 41? Is it going to be anyone else from the Memorial Show? I think the most consistent thing that people got right is that it's a female singer. It's not the one that we thought it was going to be, but I think that's really cool as far as adding a new component to Linkin Park and having someone who could probably hit the range or has the potential to hit the range that Chester had. I think it would have to be a female vocalist to hit that. I don't know very many male, like, new metal, metalcore, rock vocalists out there right now that I can think could hit Chester's range. He's irreplaceable. Now, having said that, I do have my opinions on someone that I would have really liked to have seen step in to fill Chester's part during a live performance. And I know that was discussed by the band at one point. They are quoted in an interview, forgive me, I don't know what news source, but I do remember reading it this week, that they threw the idea out there that for each live performance, they wanted a different vocalist. Bring someone new in, do it like the Memorial Show, and that would be really cool. And even bring in the same people that did the Memorial Show. Again, I loved Jeremy from A Day to Remember. His rendition I thought was incredible, and I'm a huge A Day to Remember fan, so just seeing Jeremy play with Linkin Park was super cool. Next thing I thought they did really well in the live performance is either the second or third, between the second and third song, I think they did Mike Does Band introductions. And he announces all the new members of the band. And then he finally goes,
and in the role of Chester Bennington this afternoon is each of you.
And that to me gave me chills. Like it is such a powerful message to say to everyone, we're not replacing Chester. Chester can't be replaced, but he lives on through the fans. And the fans will fill his part in every show. So it's saying right at the bat, Emily's not replacing Chester. We're not trying to replace Chester. We want you guys to fill his role. And that to me means a lot as a fan. Getting into some of the critiques that I had and where this is going to transition is I think that this has the potential to be Linkin Park, but it's not Linkin Park yet. And I know a lot of people have said that in the comments sections, probably in a more harsh way, that, oh, it's not Linkin Park, I'm never going to support them again. I think you need to give them some time. And I agree to a certain extent that right now, it might not be Linkin Park, but I think it has the potential to be Linkin Park. I think there's a lot of bands out there that have done that. They've replaced singers, guitarists, drummers, bass players, and they've come through even stronger. I think it gives new life to the band that we've loved for so many years. And I'm really excited to see what the rest of the album holds comes November. I think the first song that they put out, again, a really good thing that they did was they started strong in the live performance with a new song showcasing Emily's talents. I don't think it had enough of each person who made up Linkin Park, having that really hard nu metal driving guitar, really powerful clean drums, Mr. Hahn on the turntables. Like, I want to hear those records scratching coming through. Now, obviously, I might be nostalgic for the Hybrid Theory days, but I think those are the components that for a first song, you need to show us what made Linkin Park, as well as showcasing the new part of it, and probably the biggest part, which is Emily. Probably my biggest critique for Emily is that halfway through the live performance, it sounds like she starts to lose her voice, and it is very apparent at about the 31-minute mark when they start to play One Step Closer.
Everything you say to me, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break.
Yeah, 30-minute mark if you're watching on YouTube. One Step Closer, which is a really hard song to sing because the transitions between Chester's high, clean vocals and his screams, really hard to do. I don't expect anyone to be able to do that or replicate it. But before the song even starts, her voice sounds so sore and worn down that it makes me nervous for their tour. If she's going to be singing like this every show, and by 30 minutes into their first show together, she's already starting to lose her voice a little bit, I'm worried. And even though they've come out and said, well, we're not trying to replace Chester, Emily's not trying to replicate his sound, I don't agree with that. I think she is. I think she knows she's got really big shoes to fill, and she tried to do that really hard instead of trying to be herself, which then caused more strain on her voice. That's where I said, this isn't Linkin Park yet, but it has the potential to be Linkin Park. Is I think what Emily will learn is that she needs to try to sound less and less like Chester and more like her. And then that's what people are going to like. Other criticisms. I think one of the harsh things is when a band has a lot of member changes. And this is about 50% for Linkin Park, if you didn't know. Their drummer Rob didn't come back. He said a couple years ago that he wanted to distance himself from the band. I'm curious to see if anyone's able to interview him and maybe get some news as to what he's up to now, and maybe his opinions on the band being back together. if that's something that he thinks the band should have been respected and laid to rest with Chester, or if he supports them and says, keep doing you. I like the new sound. Go for it. As a drummer myself, I'm disappointed I won't ever get a chance to see Rob live. I've never seen Linkin Park. One of my biggest music bucket lists and regrets that I never got to see them. So if I get the opportunity to see them now, I definitely will. But still disappointed that I don't get to see them with some of their other original members, being Rob and their guitarist, another member who is not going to be touring with them. I believe their guitarist will be doing the studio sessions, so he'll probably still be involved with the music writing process. So hopefully have a lot of that signature Linkin Park sound. But to not see him live with the big can headphones on, I remember that's a big iconic look. Especially from the Live in Texas. Like, I watched that DVD so many times, it's probably burnt out now. It's in a box somewhere, and I bet you it doesn't work. I hope that doesn't mean that their sound is going to be changing too much and that it's still going to sound like Linkin Park. Because if it's like complete, 180 and they're going in a different direction, then, like a lot of people have said, maybe they should have changed the name. Maybe they should have started a new project under a different name, because that's about 50% of their members. I'm expecting a lot of big things from them. I have really high expectations. I hope they do more tours coming closer to me, so I get a chance to see them. I'm very much looking forward to the new album in November, so that way we can get a better opinion on where the band is going and the new talent that's in the band. Hopefully you left a comment so I can get your opinion on whether or not you think that bands should take their fans' opinions into consideration. Really appreciate your opinion on this. I'll try to comment on anyone who leaves a message below. Please try to keep it respectful. Like I said, it's fine to have constructive criticisms for a band or a musician in general, and I think those are the ones that will maybe have more impact, rather than the ones saying, oh no, this sucks, I'm not going to listen to it because it's changed too much. Like, what do you think they should have done? Definitely want to hear your thoughts on that as well. And yeah, thanks for watching.